Hypocrisy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. How we doing today, chat? Hope you are doing very well. Let me get one of these things pinned. Holy crap. Wait a minute. What the hell is this? Joe called me fat? All right. All right. No, that's fine. That's cool. It's cool. We'll have to talk to Joe. We'll have to have, some of my people go in and have a little chat with Joe, with old Joe. He's in New Jersey. You'll understand. You'll understand what I'm talking about. All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Here's what we're going to do. Max Payne says, close camera fits you better, Nick. Look older and more mature. Well, it's not just a close camera, right? The camera at my friend's studio, the Steel Toe Morning Show, they have a webcam. It's a nice webcam, but it's webcam. The lens is the size of, how do we word this in a PC way? An Asian. Whereas my lens is the size of an African. But it just it captures things a little differently. Mostly my wrinkles, because I am old. And I don't actually want to be young, I mean, in that way, some people would probably suggest some of my decision making is that of an immature child, and they'd be right. But I mean, I don't actually want to be young. I enjoy being old. Except for the knee pain. The knee pain hurts. I'm not kidding, actually. That's very serious. So I was going to come in here and here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to talk about the Iowa caucuses. All right. Is anybody curious about how they were going to turn out? Was anybody oh, you know what? Someone else might win. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's an issue. What the hell is happening here? My hair is voluminous today. Guess I better get a new flatter toupee. No one is surprised. The headlines were literally about who's going to come in second. Who cares? Literally unimportant. Nobody coming in second is going to matter at any other caucus. Trump is going to be the nominee. They know Trump is going to be the nominee. It's the only thing to talk about, except there's nothing to talk about. It's such a foregone conclusion that Trump will be the nominee that they have to talk about who's coming in second to have a news story in the first place. So I'm not going to talk about him. Fuzzy, frizzy hair everywhere. Look at this hair is sticking. It's driving me crazy. I didn't notice until I turned the wrong way. Doesn't matter. Squirrel. Nick has bedhead. That's true. I was actually sleeping just a few minutes ago, which was very nice. They have to come up with stories about who's going to come in second. That's the only news story they can have. But I was going to come in and tell the joke Trump's projected to win the Iowa caucuses, and then sometime, this is a meta joke here, around 2 a.m. my time, I was going to announce the arrival of a bunch of absentee ballots from Georgia, naming Joe Biden as the winner of the Iowa caucus for the Republican Party. It was going to be a funny joke. It was going to be a funny joke. But it isn't now because I've laid out what I was going to do and explained it. And there's a very good reason that I laid it out and explained it now is because I didn't want to forget the punchline at 2 a.m. and I was definitely going to do that. So that's too bad. But anyway, of course, Trump was a foregone conclusion as the winner of the Iowa caucus, foregone conclusion of the Republican primary in general. The only interesting questions around the primary is just the question of what is Colorado and Maine going to do? What are Colorado and Maine going to do? Are any of the other states going to try and keep them off the primary ballot? They currently have a problem because if he's not a part of the Republican primary, how is he going to be labeled on the ballot, the general ballot, if the Supreme Court doesn't get to the question prior to the primary and he ultimately is not allowed on the primary ballots? Will he then be allowed as the Republican frontrunner on the general ballots? How are they going to manage? This is such a stupid problem for the states to have. And it's a wonder that this is still a lingering question. It's actually baffling to me that anyone thinks that the states would have the proper authority to disqualify a president under the 14th Amendment. What's up to Camelot? 331, my boy Camelot and the Raiders. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to it. We're live here on YouTube. We're also live on Rumble. If you have not joined us over there sometime, maybe you should try. Maybe you should give it a shot. But yes, hello to Camelot, my friends over there. I got to stream with Camelot again soon, both here and there. It has been too long. I have been way too chaotic in my schedule to do that. So hopefully we will get that organized because I miss talking to my boy. He has some big, crazy news about NASCAR getting officially on the NASCAR roster to race a little bit different category than he was racing before. So it'll be cool to see how that turns out for him as the year progresses. 2024 is looking pretty interesting for him. So we'll look forward to talking to Camelot soon. With that, where should we go? Cyberhunk 2069 says, "Hey Nick, think I'm finally going to get my first 40K minis. Any parting words of advice before I descend into chaos? As says, obey the rule of cool." I don't know what the rule of cool is, but man, well, yeah, any parting words? In nomine et Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Goodbye to your wallet. May it rest in peace. And Agrilith says, "Oh shit, how you doing, man? Good to see you, brother." Okay. Tonight, I have a bunch of stories. I've been saving up. I've been edging these stories for a while. Over the weekend, from Friday on, really. We've got Texas versus the Border Patrol, which is pretty cool in general. We talked about this story the other day. Texas has passed its own law on border enforcement. And of course, the government is like, we don't want to enforce the border. Like, we don't want to do that. We want it open. We want to flood southern states with illegal immigrants. We want to put burdens on the southern states' financial systems, on their infrastructure, on their people. We want their people scared. Here it is, folk. We want southern states to know that their state cannot protect them from what's coming. We want to sow distrust in the state's law enforcement mechanisms by preventing them from enforcing federal law and then refusing to adequately enforce federal law themselves. They don't want the state to erect physical borders or barriers because that somehow interferes with the national government's ability to do its job to stop people from crossing the border. Because they don't want to stop people from crossing the border. They just don't. But Texas is like, well, fuck you then. We'll build our own borders. We will police our own borders. And better, we will keep the feds away from the border so they don't want to be there anyway. So this is a developing story. And we actually have Texas law enforcement blocking, the Texas National Guard, I believe, even blocking the Border Patrol from getting to the border. That's wild. That's a cool fucking story. So we're going to talk about that. It's been building up. It is, we don't see this very often. Wonder what we're going to do. Is Greg Abbott in open rebellion? Is he an insurrectionist? I'm sure he is somewhere, right? So we'll try that. Then we've got Creep Cuomo. This is just a short story and where I actually for 1 second like Chris Cuomo. For 1 second. And then I go back to disliking him and being really happy about what's happening. Chris Cuomo's getting a sort of Me Too situation. Chris Cuomo, he called some chick tinsel crotch. Yeah. He texted her her own picture and called her tinsel crotch. Now, the problem with this is that the chick worked for him, sort of. She's a guest on his show, a returning guest. She's an attorney. And he called her tinsel crotch for Christmas. He's like, what up, girl? Oh, God. And and of course, he's getting destroyed. So not only does he call her tinsel crotch, but after calling her tinsel crotch, I just can't say tinsel crotch enough. I'm adding this to my repertoire. See, if you're smooth, you can use tinsel crotch. Like, you can do it. I think there's someone out there who can pull off a tinsel crotch. And Chris Cuomo is not it. He's not the guy, apparently. And you can't do it by text. You got to do it in person. So I need someone out there calling all men, all you men who are brave enough. All you men who are brave enough need to somehow find a way to drop a tinsel crotch on someone and not get killed. But we'll see and report back to me if you don't go to prison. So, of course, the follow-up to that is he is getting somewhat Me Too'd. Because after he calls her tinsel crotch, this is the real baller move. He realized what he did, and he tried to offer her promotions. Right? Tried to offer promotions like, oh, we got a permanent slot for you on the show, and blah, holy shit. And then they fired her. So just a series of fortunate events, really, has happened with Chris Cuomo. So we're going to go through that story. You'll find out why tinsel crotch was an effective and perfect name for this attorney. And of course, the real story behind it. I'm gonna actually half go to bat for Chris Cuomo while laughing at him, because there's a real story as to why. And it's obvious. It's so fucking obvious as to why this became a story. And that's what makes it better. That is what makes it better, is because if you just go with what happened, it's like, oh, he gets Me Too'd. Chris Cuomo deserves it. What a piece of shit. And yet, behind every Me Too is a dollar sign. And it's not always obvious. So I'm going to tell you about it and give you my opinion on that as we get into the story. Then we got Billy Mitchell, the king of Kong, Donkey Kong, slaying Billy Mitchell, with an update on the Twin Galaxies case, which I feel has been going on forever. He sued Twin Galaxies because they, after some investigation from some independent journalists, including our friend Carl Jobst, have discovered that he couldn't have possibly performed his record-setting Donkey Kong score on an original arcade board. And that's pretty interesting. He always maintained that he did. And this case has been going on forever. Billy Mitchell passed his anti-slap, which is wild to think of, but he did pass the anti-slap. So he got all the way there. Now they settled. And I don't know what the settlement is. It's confidential. Really curious about what it is. But the settlement has some interesting hints where we can maybe get to some ideas about it, but we may never know because it's confidential. So We'll talk about that. I'll give you my thoughts on this. Look, there are facets to this settlement that will help us kind of clue in to what's going on. And I'll take my best shot at telling you what the settlement is, and we'll never find out. So I can't be wrong. Fucking A. That's perfect. I've got Trump slaps a Fanny just because I thought it was funny, but it wasn't. I know it wasn't. Okay. Listen, give it to me. Give me this one. Trump isn't really slapping Fanny Willis, but Fanny Willis is having some fucking troubles. Fanny Willis is accused of appointing her boyfriend to be special prosecutor for Donald Trump. And the special prosecutor is a guy with no prosecuting experience, no criminal law experience from what I understand, and is getting paid something like allegedly 6 times the amount of a normal special prosecutor. And the complicating factor being that he might be dating her and he might be taking her on these very elaborate and expensive trips and vacations. And if he's doing that while she's paying him 6 times the amount, then she's kind of paying herself in a way, which is super illegal. But hey, that was the story. Now the story is they're getting a hearing on it. And Trump's team says they have witnesses to it. So juicy shit is coming out of that one. Squeeze the fanny and you get juicy shit. That's not good. That's not good. And then we might have some other stories to go through, but those are the main ones. Those are the main ones. That's the big stuff going on right now that I'm going to talk about. Again, not talking about the Iowa caucuses, because why would we do that? Why would we do that? There are probably some other things out there. If you want me to talk about them, you can always tag me in chat. You can send a super chat. You can send it in the regular chat. I might see it. I might see any of this stuff. But I don't know that I'll necessarily know. If you want me to talk about the Jew tunnels, I'm not going to talk about the Jew tunnels because I'm scared of Mossad and the Jews. No, it's because I haven't read any stories about them. Apparently, there's some secret underground tunnels under a synagogue. Someone had talked about them. And everybody's like, no, they're not doing that. And they're like, no, we would never have one. And then there were like a bunch of tunnels under the synagogues dug by Jews. And I don't know why. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of nefarious reasons. And then I'm sure there's like an official story that's a cover-up reason. But I don't actually know why. Is there something about like, there's some like gross mattresses and stuff? Are they like rape tunnels? Because we had a rape tunnel in college. We called it that. It wasn't actually a rape tunnel. The reason we called it that, so long story short, I went to Southwest State University in Minnesota, which became Southwest Minnesota State University after I went there. I have this habit of attending a higher education institution and it having to change names after I go there, just like William Mitchell College of Law is now actually Mitchell Hamlin School of Law or College of Law. Don't know. But they had to change their name too because they're embarrassed that I went to their institution, so they have to change their name. So now it's Southwest Minnesota State University. And I went there in the first semester I went there was one thing. And then they had a fire over summer break right away. And then, so we had to use a different entrance because the building that we would normally enter through, the student center building, had a bunch of smoke damage and fire damage. So we couldn't actually use it anymore. So we had this different entrance, but it was a long fucking way from the dorms. And Marshall, Minnesota is really windy. Like really obscenely windy. There are no trees. There's only fat people and they just mostly lay down. So the wind just comes across. And so they built this sheet metal tunnel that went like 70, 80 yards and then took a 90-degree turn for about 20 yards and then went another probably 70 to 100 yards after a 90-degree right turn. So it made like an SS symbol, but just one S. And so the funny thing is there's an entrance on each end and then this spot in the middle where you can't see anybody. And so they just put this emergency rape phone in there. Like, well, if you get tackled and happen to make it to the rape phone, you can like grab it and call someone while you're getting pounded, I guess. Because if you're running away, I don't think you're going to stop at the rape phone. I'm not sure why you have it there. Like, I can't figure. If I'm running from the rapist and I get to that junction, I'm not going to look at that phone and be like, I should probably stop, pick it up, make a phone call, and then I should keep going. Like, I just keep running. Or like I act like I'm running and then wait around the corner and then tackle him and then run, like some sort of thing. This is just, I was like, why the fuck is, but this thing was horrible because in the winter, like the wind would blow on it. It was just sheet metal, so it would freeze. And then the summer is like a goddamn oven because the sun's just baking. It wasn't insulated. God, it was terrible. Terrible. If you grab the phone, the booty goon can't touch you. That's the rules. Oh, thank God. You just stop him just by grabbing the phone. Just by grabbing the phone. Terry Davis says, am I going to ignore CRP getting killed? No, I didn't put it in the title, but I actually am going to talk about that probably to really start off the show once I get done yakking about, whatever inanities I come up with. No, I am going to talk about Coach Red Pill dying. Do you still have Wilshire? I don't know. I don't I looked for it the other day and I don't know where it is. I never had a physical copy. I only had a software copy, but I'm going to try and find it again. I've got it. It's got to be somewhere on some storage drive. I don't know where. Oh, and Camelot says 10 degrees here and I'm snowed in. Dude, it hasn't been above 0 here in a week. It's fucking cold. It is fucking cold. But yeah. Camelot, you had double fight milk. Did you have Mandy Summers on tonight? Was that what I saw? But yeah, glad to see you getting that double fight milk. That's cool, buddy. But yeah, it's been really fucking cold here in Minnesota, man. A little bit of snow, but really, really cold. No, Mandy just didn't show up. He gets the double milk anyway. Damn. Well, good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah, so we are going to talk about Coach Red Pill in just a second as we get into the show. I just wanted to talk about like the rape tunnels. But yeah, I don't know about I mean, I have not been following the story on the Jew rape tunnels. Are they rape? Now I'm just automatically calling it that shit. Hold on. Let me tell this story the right way. Let me put on my Jew story condom. Okay. There are these tunnels under a synagogue, but they're perfectly legitimate. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. We just had to dig looking for God. Looking for God. He said, under every rock, you will find me. We found a big rock under the synagogue. We had to dig. We had to get under it. We don't know where he is. We lost him. He's with that ark. We had the big ark of the covenant, walking around the tabernacle and everything. And it's gone. It's gone. We just couldn't find him. Can't find God. So we had to look under the rocks because he said he was there. Don't worry about the tunnels. Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Would you like 10% off? I'm looking for a tip. I legitimately have no fucking idea, man. Those stories always weird me out. They do, because I'm like the funny conspiracies. Like, I like those, the dark conspiracies. I'm like, I don't want to know. I don't really want to talk about that shit because I don't know. And then, like, there's so many other people who get like way into them and they're way better at it. Like, so I tend to defer to them on those stories, but I don't know. I don't know much about it. I know people have been talking about it, but shit, maybe I should read up on them. Do I want to though? Downwards and downwards. Oh, fuck you. Oh my God. Do I have a tunnel under my house? I wish. I've always wanted a tunnel. And legitimately, I don't have a tunnel. So this house doesn't have anywhere for a tunnel to go. But in my other house, I had a shop. And it was, I don't know, 150, 200 feet away from my house. And it's cold. I always wanted like a tunnel to walk through to get to it. Like, that would be cool. That would be cool. But no, I never had a tunnel. And now I don't have a tunnel, like anywhere to tunnel to. So, but they don't, I don't know if they favor tunnels in residential areas anymore. And I live outside of the city, even the shitty little city I live near. Like, so I wonder if they could stop me. Who's going to stop me? All right, here we go. A couple more super chats, and we will get to the first story, I guess. Well, the first part of the night will actually be a tribute to Gonzalo Lira, dead pseudo-American Ukrainian war correspondent. Okay. Jake CB says Greg Abbott is being pulled to by his voters, kicking and streaming to secure the border. The man doesn't really stand for anything. I don't know if he's being pulled so much as pushed gingerly with two hands. Kate of the Swiss says, looks like someone just woke up. I did just wake up. I was just sitting there. I was just laying next to Lady Rackets, taking a nap. She was doing other shit, but it was great. Then I woke up and I'm like, I got to get to my show. Of course, I was late. Kate of the Swiss. Oh, yeah. Ben Frail. Elijah Schaefer complained about Australians. He lives there now, apparently. Yep. Being litigious in the workplace. No comment from Sydney Watson. Yeah. Elijah's had a couple funny things about living in Australia. My favorite was when he got criticized by the Australian news for calling Aboriginals his least favorite minority. Thermacia says, painting stream win. I don't care if Az and or Carl are with you at this point. Hell, get EVS and other artists with you. Just paint. Dude, I want to do one. I've had trouble setting things up because schedule's very cramped right now, but I'm going to work on it. Chris says, oh, fuck. Rackets. My niece Rhiannon passed away last Wednesday. She's 26 and recently married. Would really appreciate a toast for her and her mom, Angel. And a shout out for the GoFundMe. Okay. Just a second. All right. Okay. All right. This is a sad story already, but here's the fundraiser. The GoFundMe for Rhiannon Grames. It is, you can find it with Rhiannon-Grames as a fundraiser for GoFundMe. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll just keep the picture up as we give a little toast. I'm not drinking in January streams, so unfortunately, Sprite is the toast. For these, I really prefer to do a shot of whiskey. It's a weird thing, but in a strange way, I just feel it's more of a respect thing. But please don't take it disrespectfully that I'm just not going to have any liquor during the streams in January. So a cheers to Rhiannon Grames, 26 years old, recently married, and passing away. Taken from life so young, taken from family, her old family, and then of course taken from a recent additional family, a new family growing to love and learn about her, and now robbed of that opportunity. May she rest in peace. May her mother Angel be at peace. May her family mourn her loss, but love the time they had. Cheers to her. So if you guys want to go support this is Rhiannon Grames on GoFundMe. Please consider checking it out and looking into the story. It's that's young, man. Jacob Hanel says, hey, Nick, just got a promotion at my job. Thank you for the entertainment. Hey, thank you. Congrats on the promotion. All right. Let's do this little story, I guess, about another deceased person with a little more knowledge from me about this person than this one. This is about Coach Red Pill. I think I should probably pull up the story about him. Let's see what Newsweek has to say about Gonzalo Lira. Who is Gonzalo Lira? Pro-Putin American expat dies in Ukrainian jail. This is such a Coach Red Pill thing to do. I mean, okay. All right. What the fuck is going? Fuck off with the stupid plane. So, Coach Red Pill, I encountered first as a YouTuber when he had quite a small YouTube channel. Something like 6,000 and 9,000 subscribers. And he was involved in calling out some big YouTuber. And I don't even remember who the fuck it was. This would have been a long time ago. And I've no idea what that was. It was right when I was starting out on YouTube. He got called out. He called out someone, much bigger channel. It might have been Kraut and Tea. It might have been Kraut and Tea. It might have been Kraut and Tea that he was calling out, but it doesn't really matter who he was in that respect. That's just when I encountered him. And then actually, one of the first live events that I did as a YouTuber, attended as a YouTuber, was the Knoxville Knockout, where Andy Worski was set to fight Tonka Saw. And this was a wild event, and several other people in the sphere were there. It was myself, Dick Masterson, Andy Worski, Ethan Ralph, Coach Red Pill. I think that's all the main ones I'm thinking of were there. And somewhere there's a picture of me, Ralph, Worski, Coach Red Pill. I don't know if Dick was in that picture, but it was at a biscuit place in Knoxville, Tennessee. Pretty good biscuits, gotta say. Oh, hey, what's up? Good Logic and his viewers. Hey, Joe and Joe. Cult followers, I guess. Someone said Joe is their cult leader. What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We're doing a little reminiscing on Gonzalo Lira right now, otherwise known as Coach Red Pill. Now, as Kraut and Tea, Gator was there. Yeah, Gator was there as well. Gator was part of the kill stream at the time. It was long before the Rift. So, anyway, met Coach Red Pill there. He's a fine enough chap. Had some good times. He had a little bit of a temper on him. One of my favorite memories was him getting kicked out of the bar because one of the fans there who liked him was talking to him. And he said, you look much older in person. And then Coach Red Pill threw his drink on the guy, like splashed the drink on the guy. And then the bar security kicked him out. Like, you can't do that. Oh my God. It was good. It was good times. Cause he had to walk out of the bar like Charlie Brown, like slumped shoulders. And I really mean this. This is a mirthful story in my book. I don't think he should have been kicked out of the bar for it, but he was a little bit of a hothead. And he's also kind of, Ralph had this story from when they were at the bar the night before. I wasn't there, and he was telling me about how like Coach Red Pill got mad at the waitress, and then Ralph tipped her like $100 and made him even more mad. But anyway, it's I had fond memories of Coach Red Pill. He promised to do a documentary. He gave everybody these fucking stupid little GoPros with fuzzy microphones on them to record everything they were doing, which sounded horrible to me. I never wanted to do that. But he handed them out to people, and and some people were recording stuff, and he was going to take all that footage and compile it into a documentary of the fight that never happened. And then that was the documentary that never happened. So, he just didn't do it, which is fine. But people were expecting that. And it's too bad because now that footage is lost forever. Joe said there's an inside joke about me being fat. Want to spill? I don't know. I am fat? Am I not fat? I have no idea. I don't know what the inside joke. Whose inside joke is it, Joe? It's not inside with me. So here we go. That was then. And Coach and I had this. I mean, we didn't really talk all that much, but we had fine interactions. And then one day he decides to write a book called Wilshire Boulevard, and did a crowdfunding for it. And he asked me to do a review of the book. So I read the book. He sends me the proof copy, and I read the proof copy. And I gave it an honest review, I think, which was and he wanted to be on for the review. The review is basically, if you're an internet person, you like Coach Red Pill, and you kind of get that, you're probably going to enjoy the book, right? Like it was a kidnap drama thriller book, but it had a lot of internet isms. It had a furry sex convention, of course, and he gets like gassed or something, right? Obviously, as it should happen. But it's like, if you're not internet people, the book's not going to make sense. But that's okay, because he's selling it to his fans. That's the point of what he was doing. I thought it was a little overpriced. It's like $150 for a signed copy. But hey, what am I? What am I? I'm just a me, right? But so I give the review, and then he's like, well, I want you to be really honest in the review, like really, like, be critical of it. And I said, but Coach, I don't really want to do that though. Cause like, I read it, so I didn't want to do that. Cause I'm friendly with but he said, no, I want you to. I said, okay. So then I did. Be honest on stream, and basically told him that one of the big problems is that a lot of the characters, the main characters in the book, are women, and all of the women seem like they were written by Coach Red Pill because they were written by Coach Red Pill. But Coach Red Pill doesn't really like women that much, or didn't. I guess now he might. Wasn't a big fan of them. So you can kind of imagine how even the ones that we're supposed to like are all vapid, wildly self-interested, narcissistic, shallow pieces of garbage. It's like, well, how am I supposed to like the one that gets kidnapped? Like, why save her? She's a piece of shit. They're terrible, terrible women. It's like, you should just have an editor like who isn't you, right? Like, redo the female dialogue, just tool it up, fem it up a little bit, just make them not so disgusting. And yeah, so I gave him the review. He thanked me for it. And then I had Doug Tenaple on the next day, and I talked about the review again. I talked with Doug, and I said, hey man, like, I just talked to Coach about this. Like, you need an editor. You should always have an editor when you do your writing. You should have someone come in, and because your view of it, you know too much about what you're writing. So you got to have someone come in, read it, and see if it needs to change. See if you need more detail, less detail. See if maybe that doesn't sound believable. You need someone to come in and scoop that up. And Doug agreed with me. Then I got the message from Coach. To never, ever talk badly about him again. I guess I can now. But to never, ever talk badly about him again. Or or something. I don't know. It wasn't like a real threat. And after that, he just didn't like me anymore. And I felt bad because I didn't even want to do that. I didn't want to do that at all. I just wanted to say, hey, you know what? Like, it's because it's hard to write a novel. I mean, this isn't a graphic novel. This is a full-length fucking book. And that's a tough task for anybody. Try it sometime. It sucks. And so it's like, I didn't want to shit on it. And I knew his fans would probably enjoy it. It had all the elements of like, you know, just a run-of-the-mill thriller. And that's not a bad thing. You're not Hemingway, man. Like, you're not going to write the next great American novel. It's just not going to happen. You're just Coach Red Pill. So write a Coach Red Pill book and enjoy the shit out of it. But whatever. It just didn't work out. Well, so anyway, I go years now without ever talking to Coach again. Did some people out there keep saying, give us the book, give us the book. Did Wilshire Boulevard ever come out? Did that actually happen? Because like it was done. People are like, give us the book. So I don't know if it ever was released. I mean, his Kickstarter passed the goal, and it was over $10,000 raised. Didn't I read? Yeah, he sent me a software, he sent me a fucking ebook basically. So only 3 people have copies and I am one. Oh my, he never released it. Oh no. Oh no. Coach, why? Oh shit. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh God, now I'm going to have to find it. I hope I didn't delete it somewhere. Shit. Now you have to read. I did read it. I read it. You mean read it to you? Fuck. Okay. Oh my God. JFG and Godwinson no longer have their copies. I got to find it, I guess. Holy fuck. Might be the only. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I will look. I'll check it. I might have moved it to my storage server. I don't have any reason why I would delete it. It's not like it's like, well, I got to delete this book before all the women on my computer become evil bitches. No, it's like, it's got to be somewhere. Terry David, PPP and Andy say, give them your copy and they will never talk of you again. We'll apologize. Nah, I don't care. Oh, not a chance. Not a chance. They're going to have to pay me big money for this copy of this book. Holy shit. That'll be good. All right. Well, I might hold. I'm like fucking, I'm like Sam Jackson, John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Like, I got the golden fucking briefcase. All right. I'll have to find it. It's got to be somewhere. I just don't remember how he sent it to me, but I will find it. No matter how far, I will find you. Okay. Let's let's move on with this tribute. Finally, I thought the book was released. I thought people got to it. All right. So anyway, I don't hear about him for years. Then this war in Ukraine kicks off. And all of a sudden, Coach is like an independent war correspondent because he lives in Ukraine or whatever. He lives there. And, I mean, this article labels him as pro-Putin. But people are saying he wasn't really pro-Putin, more anti-Ukraine. But he does the dumbest thing I've seen a person do ever that I know of. Like that. I've seen people do dumb things, but I don't know them. I know this person a little bit, and he does the dumbest thing I've ever seen. He broadcasts himself after the evacuation Ukraine. He broadcasts himself being critical of the Ukrainian government from a Ukrainian hotel where he could be identified live on YouTube. He's just broadcasting criticisms of the existing government during an invasion and at least tacit support for the invading force. And I'm like, dude, you can't, like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. If you don't know the history of the United States, the right of habeas corpus is a critical and integral part. That's where if you are jailed or imprisoned by the government in some sense unfairly or for too long or outside the bounds of law, you have the right of habeas corpus. You can petition a court to order your release to the government entity that is in charge of this. And it's a sacred right because it is the right of the journalist, the dissident. It's the right of everybody who is a political target. But there is a time in the Constitution, very specifically in the United States, where the right to habeas corpus is suspended. And that's in times of invasion. In a time of invasion in the United States, the most free country on the planet with your rights guaranteed by a constitution for 230 years. In a time of invasion, the right to habeas corpus is suspended. And it was actually used by Abraham Lincoln to imprison dissident journalists in the North who were critical of the Union and supportive of the Confederacy. A man who's largely regarded as one of the greatest presidents in American history just went ahead and violated one of the most sacred rights in America because it was a time of invasion. And they just didn't have time for that bullshit with enemy at the gates. So, why would you expect Ukraine to treat you better than America? I'm not familiar with a right to free expression or habeas corpus in Ukraine, but maybe they have one. So I don't know why you would broadcast that. Like, get out of the country first. You're an American expat. I think he had an Argentinian passport or something. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Then say whatever you want. But he did end up getting in prison. Does that mean that his opinions were wrong or he shouldn't have said them? No. Just logistics, man. Logistics. It's just not smart. In an Eastern European country or Western Asian, I don't even know how they classify, but in that type of environment, to be a dissident journalist in time of invasion, like that's just not the strategy, man. Get the fuck out. Tell your story when you're out. Then there was, after that, there was these stories about him being arrested, not arrested, killed, not killed. Then apparently he was arrested, eventually sent to a work camp. And then he's died now due to apparently medical negligence or medical neglect is the charge there. So that medical neglect is in there. So let's just, Chilean, not Argentinian, whatever. Gonzalo Lira. Let's read the article real quick and I'll give a little toast to him and then we'll move on. 55-year-old Chilean American who was imprisoned in Ukraine after allegedly spreading Russian propaganda, then violating his bail conditions, has died in Ukrainian jail. Now, I don't know if he was spreading Russian propaganda, but he was certainly speaking out against the Ukrainian government while they were invading. I watched some of it. It was interesting. Posting on X, formerly Twitter, conservative social media personality Tucker Carlson said he had been informed of the death by Lira's father. Speaking to Newsweek, sure, Coach Red Pill always wanted to get on Tucker Carlson. A State Department official confirmed the death of a U.S. citizen in Ukraine and offered their sincerest condolences to the family on their loss. The cause of Lira's death has not been confirmed. He died by Russian bullet. Newsweek contacted the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry for comment. By mail on Saturday, Lira was formerly a pickup artist. Oh, God. Oh, they said that without a hint of irony. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, wow. I don't mean to be a dick. I don't mean to be a dick, but I can. Oh, I'm not sure what he's picking up. Look, I'm trying not to be an asshole here, but if Coach Red Pill's a pickup artist, I feel like he's using my pickup shoulders. That's all I'm saying. I cannot. All right, go get him, Coach. Chase tail in heaven, brother. Formerly a pickup artist who posted videos to YouTube under the name Coach Red Pill. He was living in Kharkiv when the Russian military launched a full-scale invasion in February 2022. Lira gained a following by posting content online hostile to the Ukrainian government and its president, Volodymyr Zelensky. I mean, he gained a following online a lot before that. He had several 100,000 subscribers. It's not like he was a nobody. Lira, well, you know, like what I mean. Yeah, I mean, I am, but he is never mind. Lira baselessly branded Ukraine's leader a cokehead and described the Russian operation as one of the most brilliant invasions in military history. All right. It's funny, at least. Lira was arrested by Ukraine's internal security agency, the SBU, on May 1st before being released on bail. He subsequently released a video saying he was going to try to leave the country before being rearrested for allegedly breaching his bail conditions, which I'm guessing one of them was leaving the country. Speaking about Lira's arrest, the Ukrainian government Center for Strategic Communication and Information Security, oh, that doesn't sound shady as fuck, also known as Spravdi, said the YouTube poster had been charged with justifying Russian aggression against Ukraine in violation of Article 463-2 of the country's criminal code. That's pretty specific crime. Specifically, Spravdi said that Lira had justified the Russian attack by falsely claiming the Ukrainian government was a neo-Nazi regime. Is it false, though? I mean, there's a lot of suggestion that they had some similarities. If I remember correctly, there were ample comparisons to neo-Nazism about the Ukrainian government, because that was the funny thing, was like, look at all the liberals supporting effectively a neo-Nazi regime. Like that was the funniest joke. So, okay. And denied massacres of civilian Ukrainians by Russian invaders in Bucha and other cities. Spravdi added that Lira filmed himself insulting Ukrainian soldiers before publishing the footage on social media. Now, again, not necessarily the most brilliant tactic, but a bold one. On April 3rd, 2022, Ukraine's Prosecutor General Irina Venediktova said the bodies of 410 civilians had been recovered from Bucha, a town on the outskirts of Kiev, and neighboring settlements following the retreat of Russian troops. Taras Shipravsky, a speaker of the Bucha City Council, told Newsweek, "We have official data confirming the deaths of 422 civilians at the hands of the Russian occupiers." Isn't this Prosecutor General? Isn't this the guy that Biden worked to keep in? Isn't that the guy or something? I can't remember if he worked to keep in or he wanted him to be kicked out because he was going to investigate Hunter. I can't remember which one that was. I thought that's the guy, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, that was the other one. Okay, that was the other one. All right. Posting on X, formerly Twitter, in July, Lira said he was arrested for my YouTube videos, adding, "My crime was making videos critical of the West and their proxy regime in Kiev and how they are destroying Ukraine." Lira added that he was tortured in prison by other inmates, which saw him beaten and sleep deprived with his arms twisted the wrong way around at the shoulder. Fuck that. Yeah, you don't want to go to prison, and you don't want to go to Ukrainian prison, and you don't want to go to Ukrainian prison when you're like anti-Ukraine while they're being invaded. All of this is bad. All this is bad news. These allegations were strenuously denied by Sarah Ashton Cirillo, a former American journalist who became a sergeant in the Ukrainian army. In an interview with Business Insider, Ashton Cirillo said, in an effort to gain sympathy, Gonzalo Lira made up allegations of abuse and torture. As someone who spoke to him shortly after he was returned to custody, it was clear that he was in good health and treated extremely fairly by the state security services. Look, I mean, you can't look at this face and say he was in good health ever. Poor Couch. No one believed him. Gonzalo Lira in a baseball cap. Thanks. When asked about Lira's reported death by Newsweek, a State Department spokesperson said they could confirm the death of a U.S. citizen in Ukraine. The spokesperson added, "We offer our sincerest condolences to the family on their loss. We stand ready to provide all appropriate consular assistance. Out of respect for the family during this difficult time, we have no further comment." Posting on X on Friday, Tucker Carlson wrote, "Gonzalo Lira Sr. says his son died at 55 in Ukrainian prison, where he was being held for the crime of criticizing the Zelensky and Biden governments. Gonzalo Lira was an American citizen, but the Biden administration clearly supported his imprisonment and torture. Several weeks ago, we spoke to his father, who predicted his son would be killed." I know Tucker is going after Biden here. I just really wonder if the Biden regime has any idea who Coach Red Pill is. I just really do. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know if I buy that. Russian troops have spent the past couple of months attempting to capture the eastern Ukrainian city of Avdiivka, with heavy casualties on both sides. They've also launched a number of drone and missile attacks in Ukraine towns and cities, including on December 29th. What is this? Like, why is this? Why is this sentence? This sentence has nothing to do with Coach Red Pill. This is weird. Like that's a weird sentence to me. Or paragraph, I guess. It just doesn't seem to belong. Like, that's not closing out this article. That's just saying something else. So, okay. Anyway. There we go. So, all that to say, like, look, I can laugh at Coach, whatever. He's still really mad at me about Wilshire Boulevard, but I never realized it wasn't released. But he is dead, apparently. I don't have any reason to disbelieve his death this time. And it's a shame, because he died for opinions. The government didn't like them. And he was imprisoned and ultimately lost his life because of it. And that's bullshit. No matter how goofy I think he was, no matter our stupid tiff, which, again, I never actually cared about, but Coach got mad. So, okay. To Coach Red Pill, to Gonzalo Lira, to the majority of my interactions with him being good, and for him being an interesting man that's able to draw a bunch of people in and entertain them with stories about life, stories about women, stories about business, and eventually stories about Ukraine. May he rest in peace. May his family be at peace with his passing. And may the people who loved and listened to him always have the opportunity to remember him as a dude they liked. Cheers to Coach. All right. There we go. Coach Red Pill. Dead at 55. What a fucking weird world this is, man. You run into strange people and then they get killed. Aussie Overlord says Elijah is a hypocritical dick. Wow. Aussie coming in hot with the Elijah Schaefer burn. Fuck. Ryan, the editor, says, I'm going to fucking bully you. Oh, that's because I haven't paid him. That's kind of rude. I should pay him. No One to You says, I'm not even sure Gonzalo isn't a double agent anymore. His entire story screams that. Wait, so you think he's alive? Is he a double agent like between life and death? I'm pretty sure he's dead. But yeah. Intimidator 0108 says, hope you're staying warm in this cold spell we've been dealing with recently. Anyway, found out over the weekend that a classmate from my graduation class has passed away. If you join me in a drink, I'd appreciate it. Well, I'm not drinking any alcohol, so cheers to you and your friend in passing, and you in their memory. May they rest in peace. Christopher Nicholson says, I was hoping for Coach Red Pill's expiration ever since he told me to fuck off in Knoxville, and he kicks off on my birthday. Happy birthday to you, I guess. Jacob McQuaid says, happy National No Scope Day, everyone. R.I.P. MLK. Wow. Holy shit. That was a brutal super chat. Damn. Martin Luther King toast. So yes, this is Martin Luther King Day. Well, it's not anymore. It's now Tuesday. But yeah, it was Martin Luther King Day. And it's always weird. Did they have school today and stuff? Like, what happened? I don't even know what they do anymore with that. All right. Here we go. We're going to actually flip over to Rumble here in just a second. We are going to do that. It's time for a Rumble flip in a second. Not quite yet, though. We have one thing to do before we go. I'm told that Vivek Ramaswamy has officially dropped out of the race. Vivek was an interesting chap, really just shaking things up in the Republican primary. He was young, he was energetic. He had some opinions that resonated really well with people because they okay. Yeah, can I open this, please? It's opinions that really resonated with people because they were a little bit more brazen. Don't get brazen with me. A little bit more brash. He was an open supporter of Donald Trump, and even when Donald Trump's campaign posted some things about him on Truth Social, he graciously said, "You know what? I'm not going to fight with Donald Trump, and we're just going to keep going." And I'm impressed with that. But he also has a challenging history with some of his past opinions about things that seem to change conveniently for the election and the campaign season. But if nothing else, he brought some interesting stuff to the 2024 Republican primary. But he has suspended his campaign, I guess, dropped out. He's gone. And it doesn't matter. None of these people should even bother running right now. There's no reason to do it. Trump is going to be the nominee. He's not going to be disqualified under the 14th Amendment. And there is no purpose at all in staying around the race. Just make every event a Trump stump speech. Just give every event to Donald Trump from the get-go. Why let Nikki Haley sit there and talk and poke fun at Trump's? Like, who wants Nikki Haley to be president? Not many people. So why on earth are we bothering with this? Look, and I know a bunch of Republicans out there don't like Trump. I got it. Sure. Fine. But I'm sorry, he's going to be the nominee. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. None of these people are going to come from behind like, oh, here they come. They're going to win all. No, it's not going to happen. So why bother? Why bother with this charade? Just let Trump use every Republican event, all the primary events, as just a MAGA rally, left and right, big rah-rahs. Get that energy up. Get people on board. Get people on board. People who don't like Trump, get them back on board. Say, you know, I know you didn't like me, I know, you might not have liked my approach, but look what happened the moment I left. Economy goes to shit. We're starting to get more engaged in more involved in foreign engagements. We don't need to be doing this stuff. We need to get back to the basics. Protect America, protect our borders, our beautiful borders. They span long, long distances. Walls could be built. Just let him stump speech on all the Republican talking points and just go to fucking town. Like, anyway, but Vivek's out. I'm not going to talk about this stupid Iowa caucus, though, much more than that. What I am going to talk about is this show's sponsor today, which is cbdistillery.com. cbdistillery.com. Look, these are cannabinoid products. They have CBD products. They actually have Delta 9 THC products, depending on where you are. Shot by Benefit. Oh, you can get like different, the different types of CBD products. They just have a handy thing here to tell you how to do it. You can even give drugs to your pets, which is cool. But they have all sorts of stuff. I've had a couple of these things. I got to tell you, it's the CBD gummies, the nighttime ones. They knock me the fuck out. They're cool. I think I have some. Oh yeah, I have some right here. Sleep Synergy. These are CBN plus CBD. These are not THC gummies. Actually, I think when I got them, you couldn't have THC gummies in the United States. So these are the sleep ones. They're elderberry. Look, I'm not gonna lie. They taste like ass, but they knock you out. They knock you out. They put you to sleep really quickly, and not just like, because I'll fall asleep quickly. They actually make you tired before you lay down, which for me is a big deal because I'm usually pretty energized until I lay down and go to sleep. Those things, they make me tired beforehand. They did give me a promo to read, so I'm going to read it because I'm nice, but I'll read it. But then I never want their pitch to be the pitch because they're they're marketing people. Here we go. Let me guess. Your medicine cabinet is crammed with stuff that doesn't work. Hey, that's actually true. I need to empty mine out. You still aren't sleeping. You still hurt and you're stressed out. That's how it was for me. I mean, yes, but I wasn't going to say that. So I cleared out my cabinet, and reset my health with CBD from CB Distillery. It's been a real change. No, look. Seriously, the sleep things work. I don't know. CB Distillery's targeted formulations are made from the highest quality clean ingredients. No fluff, no fillers, just pure effective CBD solutions designed to help support your health. In 2 non-clinical surveys, 81% of customers experienced more calm. 80% said CBD helped with pain after physical activity, and an impressive 90% said they slept better with CBD. Look, again, all that aside, and their non-clinical studies, CBD has roundly been shown to provide lots of these benefits to people. Like that is just, that's a thing that happens. CBD has provided tons of relief. It has tons of, benefits in pain relief and stress relief. And the sleep ones, like I said, the sleep ones are my favorite thing. Like if I am amped and I take those, I'm gone. It's cool. If you struggle with a health concern and haven't found relief, make a change like I did to CB Distillery. And with over 2 million customers and a solid 100% money back guarantee, CB Distillery is the source to trust. I have a 20% discount to get you started. Hey, that's cool. Visit cbdistillery.com and use promo code NOSE for 20% off. That's cbdistillery.com, code NOSE, cbdistillery.com. I love the ad copy they give because it's like, why? They always ask me, like when I take on an advertiser, they always say, make it your own, like we'll send you the stuff, make it your own. And so I like to just tell my story with it. And my story is these sleep gummies knock you the fuck out. And if that's what you need, get them. There's nothing else to do. Like there's no other questions. Just get them. See, these are non-THC. They're legal in every state. They're made from the industrial hemp, which is a nationally legal product, a nationally legal cannabis product that CBD comes from. They have THC, Delta 9 THC. If you live in a state where you can receive them, you can get those. But the Sleep Synergy, from CB Distillery is phenomenal. They have, other things, tinctures and ointments and all that shit for pain relief. I do have a CBD stick, which is kind of cool for, topical pain relief, and those things help. But the sleep ones, I can testify to, like, these things, they kick ass. So check them out, cbdistillery.com. Use promo code NOSE, get 20% off. Try it out. Legitimately, CBD does help a lot of people with a lot of problems. Throughout the years, I've used various CBD products as they became legal for mainly for pain and stress relief, and kind of cool, kind of calming, and definitely helps with, again, if you have like sore muscles and shit, throw some of that topical cream on there. Yeah. Okay, with that, again, cbdistillery.com, promo code NOSE. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Really, really happy to have them on board. Grifty says that UA Troon spokesperson Cirillo fled Ukraine regime and is a man again reporting on the border. DM'd you a tweet about it. That's fine. Good job. No one you says, Nick, the real MVP for shitting on their marketing team. I actually might buy it now. Look, marketing team is fine. It's just not for me. I can't read someone else's sales pitch. Just let me tell the story. It's very, very simple way to go about it. In my opinion, I just think, never mind. I'm not going to get too far into it. All right, let us go. What a nose. Oh my God, you're a Jew. Oh dude, if I was a Jew, do you think I would be YouTubing instead of just owning a bank? Good God. All right, let's pop over to Rumble. Let's end the YouTube stream. And then we're going to get to the stories that I teased an hour ago. All right, to the YouTube audience, pinned chat at the top has the Rumble link. You can also find it in the description on the YouTube video. Go watch it on Rumble. Come hang with us over there. We will be there. We will be there. We will be waiting for you. And if you don't come, we're going to come. And we're not going to feel bad about it. But you should come too, because I'm going to come. We'll see you over there in just a minute. Well, 25 seconds. Peace. Peace.